What's going on, everybody? This is Brian Mazik, aka Unique Mazik. I am the hardest working man in sports and gaming. But even though I'm that hard working, I need y'all help. I have been working on this roster, and you may have heard me or seen me on social media talking about it. But I'm working on this roster with MLB The Show 21. It's a whole project. I've worked together with Kasabe, who is, in my opinion, one of the best, if not the best, logo maker on in the MLB The Show community. But I have been working on this in complete rebrand of a league. So I don't want to just rebrand the teams. So I went as far as I rebranded, had the teams rebranded, created uniforms, and Kasabi did the logos, but I created uniforms for all 30 teams, new teams. So it's not like the Cubs got rebranded. It's just a whole different team. Have 30 unique ballparks. Most of them I created myself. Some of them I saw within the community and thought they were dope and kind of used those instead. But most of them I created myself. So to take it to the whole entire next level, I want a complete fictional roster. Now, I know my man Bacon, who is somebody that I've spoken to multiple times. I know he has a fictional roster, but I kind of wanted to do something on my own. So I started doing that, and all shouts out to Bacon, all respect to Bacon, because man, I'm telling you, trying to do an entire fictional roster, especially the level that I'm doing it, because I'm doing minor leagues as well as the 26-man roster, trying to do all of this by yourself, even with one other person helping. I have Junior helping, I have my son helping me. Even with two people doing it, it is a beast. It is like crazy to try to understand. So after some thought and deliberation and just trying to figure out the best way to do this, what I decided to do was to make this a community fiction roster, right? So I have a way of which I want to do this and how I feel like people can help. And not only can they help, they'll be able to kind of see themselves or see their own creations come to life in this roster that ultimately is going to be for the community. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, who I am or whatever, I've been covering sports video games, both in print and in video for over a decade. I write for Forbes, I write for heavy.com. And so what I plan to do is once this roster and this whole entire concept is done, I want to roll it out and kind of introduce it in a Forbes article, say, hey, here's what was done by the community, what have you. And so get some people, aware that it's out there and put it out there. And so people can download it. They'll be able to download or see the settings for how to make the uniforms. The logos will be out there and available for people to use. So if they want to recreate this exact same situation, they can, or they can make their tweaks wherever they want to do it. But for the roster, I want that to be one single contained roster. You can do a fantasy draft with it, or you can take it as it is, however you decide to do it. So the cool thing is this year with MLB The Show, you can be on Xbox One, you can be on Xbox Series X or S, you can be on Sony PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 5, and whatever you do from a roster standpoint can be shared across the platforms. So you can make players, you can make teams or what have you, upload them to the vault, and I can add everybody's creations as I like to this one running roster. So that is my idea. So what I want to do is I want to open this up to the entire MLB The Show community. Anybody who gets an opportunity to see this video, if you know somebody who might be interested in being involved, there is no real there's no restriction or anything like that. The major thing is this. One thing, we want to be respectful. I don't want so if somebody had the bright idea to try to put something disrespectful in one of the, create a player and make it like that and something, it's not going to get used. It's not even going to get discussed. So, it would be a waste of time. I want people who are going to be creating players who are completely fictional. It can be yourself. It could be your friends. It could be whatever. And we don't want a bunch of superstars. We want some people that are some prospects. We want some guys who are just trash, not very good players. All of the mix. You can make it up to it's up to you how you want to do it. We don't want to get too crazy with faces to the point where it's like that's a Martian or anything like that. The MLB The Show sculpting or face sculpting lets you do a lot of kind of, crazy stuff. you don't want to go too far because I want this to be realistic. And I do, as the person who's going to ultimately put this out, reserve the right not to actually use one of the players. So what I would like people to do is, if you would like to be involved with this, if you want to contribute to this roster, all you have to do is create players at your leisure, as many or as few as you want. Obviously, the more the better. You create them, name your player. In the description of your player, I ask you to put in CF, which stands for Community Fiction 2021, with no spaces. What I'm going to do is, on a daily basis, maybe once or maybe even twice a day, I'm going to go in and see what the community has created that I haven't already pulled. And I'm going to essentially download those individual players, the ones who are, up to snuff and, don't have anything necessarily disrespectful about them, not too much over the top. If we get to the point where I got too many people that's not, I don't really even want a lot of 99 overall people. I'm talking about, man, probably 3 or 4 tops in the whole entire league, maybe 5 or 6 at the most. Probably that's a little high to me personally. I know that MLB The Show has quite a bit of those guys in the game, but I don't want to have, I don't want this to be like almost like it's a collector mode. We're playing Diamond Dynasty. I want it to be more realistic sort of a league. So what I might do sometimes, if you do create somebody like that, I might look at them and be like, oh man, the name of the player is cool, the design of the player is cool, but I need to nerf their ratings a little bit to bring them down so that they'll fit under what I need for the roster at the time. So whatever you do, it'll be cool. Obviously, if you do something that doesn't need that much maintenance, that'll be great. As you can see on the screen, I've had this kind of running here and there through the video. This is an example of what I have it looking like at this point. So all of the uniforms and logos are completely done. I haven't put them out or anything like that, but they're all completely done. So you're seeing an example game on your screen right now. So look at it this way. Once this is done and this roster is out, I plan on doing like a video series. It'll more than likely be on my channel, and then maybe even streamed or something to that effect. And we're going to go through a whole season, and it would be really dope to be able to watch guys that you've created go through this kind of season, guys that I've created, guys your friends have created, this, that, and the third. And, we try to give people their attributions and their citations and say, yeah, this guy was created by this person, what have you. I think it'd be something that would be fun. And to be totally honest, I'm not sure I'll get through this project without getting the help of the community, because it's just such a big one, such a large project to try to take on. So hopefully we can get some help on that. As I said, it's on the screen again. We want you to, in the description of your player, when you create them, so you go through the process, you create a player, fill out, make them look whatever way you want to do. One thing that I did not mention with the names, it would be so much better if you make sure that the name is actually a name that's in the MLB The Show database. It's very easy to see if it's in there, because preferably I would like to have the announce team say the players' names that are in the game. So if you name your guy Little MC Wood Splitter, nobody's going to say his name. It's just going to pop up on the thing. It's not going to be quite as cool. So we would like you to pick names that are in the name database so that the roster can stay somewhat realistic in that way. So name your player, make them look whatever way you want to make them look. I would encourage you to do as much to make the face look somewhat original. Don't, just kind of take the first face that they give you sort of thing. But once you've put out the attributes, change the batting stances and the motions or whatever it is, the pitching motions and stuff that you're going to change, go ahead and when you save it, you want to pick the free agent export option. And once you've done that, you can then go to the vault, go to the options to upload your player to the vault right there, name them, with their position and their name. And then in the description, that's where you're going to put CF 2021. I'll put a description of this, or the instructions of this will be in the description of this video, So hopefully you guys will be able to follow that. And this is not something that's going to be for everybody. We know that not everybody is a roster creator by nature. Some people might just be like, you know what, I can create one guy. I can create two guys because I want to see what they do in this league or what have you. It's almost like a sim league, so to speak. So I would love for you guys to be involved and to contribute. That's all I got for you today. I appreciate you watching as always. God bless and peace.